When we left off, I was still on my exploration of the further reaches of the Philippines, leaving Davao for the island province of Bohol, 500 kilometers to the north. Bohol lies between Cebu and our previously visited island of Camiguin, and flying overhead, I could see its most famous features: the wild jungle rivers, pristine beaches, and most of all, the mysterious geological formations collectively known as the Chocolate Hills. With such diverse natural beauty and unique wildlife, it's not for nothing that Bohol is known as the Jewel of the Philippines. I had two reasons to go to Bohol. The first was to shoot some scenes on Panglao Beach with a local model to film a video for a Filipino love song that I planned to record and release that summer as a show of gratitude to the culture I'd been living in for several months and to see if it generated any interest. And I'll tell you about the second reason after this beautiful music. Harkening back to my very first explorations of Asia, long before moving here, Bohol had been one of the first outside provinces I had ever visited in the Philippines. It had a deep effect on me, and I wanted to take the same tour I had taken then and see how it struck me now that I had many more years' exposure to the country and to Southeast Asia. And so, I was off on the standard tourist roadshow that Bohol offers its visitors to see if it stirred a similar sense of wonder that it did years ago, or if some expat cynicism had crept in the meantime. The first stop was a slightly sketchy petting zoo, which was one of my least favorite attractions the first time around, but a tour is a tour, and you have to make all the rounds, so I did. So we're on the standard tour of Bohol. There's this certain round that the tour drivers take you on. This one's sort of got some regrettable animal stuff going on, but it's, this guy seems cool. How you doing? All right. Cool. All right. Anyway, we're going to see some cool stuff, right? After making a quick and graceful exit from the animal farm, the next stop was heading up through the rolling hills to a portion of the tour that was perhaps the most memorable for me on the first go-round, a riverboat ride into Bohol's wild interior. Being a musician myself, 6 years ago I was fascinated by a band playing traditional music at the entrance to the dock on local instruments I was not familiar with. Six years later, that role was now being performed by local kids. They were both delightful, but there is something a little unsettling in the contrast that I can't quite put my finger on. On my prior trip, the most enchanting part of the boat journey was a literal army of girls and women in flowered skirts playing ukuleles in unison dockside as others demonstrated the traditional Philippine bamboo pole dance, the tinikling. You can actually see me sitting in with this ukulele platoon on the back cover of my album Bohol. Here again, the tour had seen significant downsizing, and the spectacle that had moved me so much before was gone. Though the tinikling dancers were still highly skilled and great to see. Actually, 6 years ago, I'd attempted the tinikling myself, but as you can see, wound up inventing a new dance form instead. So the Bohol tourist tour, even though it has its standard issue of tourist fees and things of that nature, you can't deny that it does give you a really nice sampling of both the beauty of the Philippines provincial interior and also of the culture and the friendliness and good-heartedness of the Filipino people, and also the entrepreneurial spirit thereof. And speaking of entrepreneurial spirit, I wasn't above commandeering the boat to preview my new single. Safely disembarked, we were soon back on the road and headed further inland and up into the mountains. Our next destination was the tour's main event, the Chocolate Hills. Distinctive and mysterious Chocolate Hills are among my very favorite spots in the Philippines, and it's really exciting to be back just to get a look at it. There are between 1,300 and 1,800 individual chocolate hills, so named for the color of the grass during dry season. There are many theories about how they came to be formed, including some fanciful local stories that they're man-made. Though scientific consensus maintains that these are simply karsts or dissolved limestone. But in research, I never could find a clear explanation for their unique conical shape. But then, I'm a musician, not a geologist. Well, we gotta do some walking around, so let's go. Well, just like always, the weather's, we're just gonna do this. Screw it. You guys are used to seeing me all soaking wet, right? Crap. Paid for this, I'm gonna go up there. I don't care if I get soaking wet. wannabe travel bloggers out there, if you want to be the only one at the top of a heavily touristed attraction, simply be the only one willing to go up without a poncho in the pouring rain, and you'll have the place all to yourself. So never let it be said I don't go the extra mile for you guys, but now I gotta go down or the phone will stop working. I'm soaked. So Kuya, how often does it rain here? I've come twice and it's always raining.
Yeah.
Oh, gaano madalas ang ulan?
Palagi lang.
Palagi?
Yeah.
Rainbow?
Yeah.
Okay, I obviously did crap Tagalog, but there's going to be a rainbow here somewhere. We're in the Visayas, so their Tagalog's about as good as mine. Anong pangalan mo, Kuya?
Peter.
Yeah. How many, ilang taon
Year?
magtrabaho dito?
2 months ba? 2 months.
Oh, 2 months lang. Oh. And ilang araw ulan, mag-ulan?
Bawat linggo may ulan.
Bawat linggo.
Bawat linggo may ulan.
How many times?
3 times, 2 times, depende.
Is that- Okay. Well, that's makes life interesting here.
Yeah.
And there you go, soaking wet in the Philippines. With the tour drivers all waiting at the bottom of the hill outside the entrance gate, the sudden rain had left me and a lot of other people temporarily stranded in the tiny visitor center. Just waiting for the driver. Yep. After the driver's belated return from down the hill, it was off to our final destination, the rainforest habitat of one of Southeast Asia's most unusual wild creatures. Incidentally, on the way, I attempted to interview our driver, but the rain apparently had gotten into the microphone and killed most of the audio. But if you can read lips, I'm sure he's saying something fascinating. What are we all quietly stalking in the jungle? The elusive tarsier. The tarsier is a unique nocturnal primate that existed all over the world in prehistory, but now are confined to only a few locations in Southeast Asia, including Bohol. They are the only entirely carnivorous primate species, hunting at night by lunging for insects, frogs, lizards, crabs, and sometimes even birds and bats. A foundation dedicated to increasing their numbers maintains this preserve and allows tourists to see the sleeping animals in the trees, resting for the next night's hunt. Then it was time to head back, but not before taking in some of Bohol's deep and rich history, namely the imposing Gothic church at Dawis, built in 1697 and fresh from its reconstruction after the devastating Bohol earthquake in 2013 collapsed its unique three-arched entryway. Right across from the church is the Dawis Watchtower, built in 1774. another mysterious relic of the Spanish colonial period, like the ones that had stirred my curiosity in Camiguin. And finally, back to Panglao, where after a short rest, my video partner and I would check out the live music along the beach. And so, what was my before and after verdict on Bohol? Well, it's still a magical place, but I was a little unnerved at how some things seemed downsized and more threadbare than before. But I don't blame this on Bohol. I think we all feel this somehow, that all the special, beautiful, and inspiring things in our lives have been slowly chipped away these last few years, leaving more and more of the mundane, and less of what fires the imagination, inspires joy, and fosters real human connection. I hope that this trend in the world does not continue. I will do my best to fight it.